akan dekat dalam kita akan untuk apa? I would like to inform that you have information for our forum that we have to
Attention to the audience. Please wait patiently as we need to wait for our speakers to come to our Dewan Aspirasi.
and the audience for buka padam.
announcing the arrival of VIP speakers into Dewan Aspirasi UiTM Dulu. Assalamualaikum and good morning. The Honorable Madam Hasina Binti Hamdan, Lecturer of Issues in Customer Service Subject CSM 305, Dr. Muhammad Hanif bin Muhammad Yusuf, Founder and Chief Executive Officer of Hanif Dewan, Madam Aziza Binti Ahmad Saini, Senior Lecturer Economics, Faculty of Business and Management, IUITM Rawang, and we also have one speaker, Dr. Agnes Campbell from Waipapan Lawatan University of Auckland, New Zealand. My name is Nur Aisha binti Ahmad, Master Ceremony of Forum, Health, Equality and Innovation, paving the way for a brighter future. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, we would like to welcome everyone to our forum. It is an honor to have all of you here with us today. To begin, I would like to call upon Ahmad Sudari bin Shukur to lead us in the Dua recitation. Please welcome.
الفاتحة. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, praise to be Allah, the Lord of the world. Peace and blessing are upon our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and his companion, and for those who follow his example till the judgment day. Allahumma Ya Allah, on this blessing morning, in conjunction with the forum Health Equality and Innovation, paving the way for the brighter future, we beseech Thee and are grateful to you in favor of all the infinite blessings to us. May your humble servant who live a safe and prosperous life. We seek your blessing for the flawless program of this forum from the beginning till the end. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. الحمد لله رب العالمين.
Amin, amin, ya Rabbal Alamin. Thank you, Dani, for the dua. Ladies and gentlemen, next, we will continue with the Malaysian National Anthem and welcome the Salam UiTM song. Please stand to honor the song. Ladies and gentlemen, are welcome to speak. Alhamdulillah, we are grateful to the presence of God because with His abundance, grace, and inayah, we can gather together this morning. For your information, our forum today is a bit different, which is speakers will deliver their speech by slot, and there will be no interaction between speakers. It is because we are having some technical problems that cannot be avoided. Our forum today is held to aware students that gender differences are not an issue that needs to be raised in the classroom. Moreover, this forum also aims to expose students with ways to control emotions when facing conflict, and also to aware students that mental health needs to be emphasized, especially when in any classroom. Ladies and gentlemen, now with the great honor, please allow me to invite the Honorable Madam Hasina Binti Hamdan to the stage to officiate forum, health, equality and innovation, paving the way for a brighter future. Please welcome.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera, salam Malaysia Madani dan salam UiTM dihatiku. Our respected panel, that is online with us today, Dr. Angus Donald Campbell, Head of Design Program, Faculty of Creative Arts and Industries, Waikato Mata Rao University of Auckland, New Zealand. Our respected panel here in the Dewan Aspirasi Waikato Terengganu, Dr. Muhammad Hanan bin Muhammad Yusof, Founder and Chief Executive Officer of Hanan Medispa Grand Berhad, Puan Azmiza binti Ahmad bin, Senior Lecturer Economy, Faculty of Business and Management, Pahang, UiTM lecturers, audience participants of the forum, ladies and gentlemen. Alhamdulillah, I am most grateful to Allah, the most gracious and most merciful for His blessing in giving us the opportunity to gather here at the forum, Health, Equality and Innovation, paving the way for a brighter future. So first and foremost, allow me to extend a warm welcome to all panels, distinguished panels, and also all participants, whether present in this Dewan Aspirasi or in the virtual platform. May today's forum bring valuable insights to all participants, enhancing their understanding and delving into the intended objectives of the forum. I would like to express my utmost gratitude and appreciation to all committee members, which are my students. They are from the Bachelor of Customer Service, Part 5, that organized this forum event. Congratulations all. And then it is a great pleasure to welcome all the distinguished guests, and I feel deeply honored by your presence here today. And thank you very much for accepting the students' invitation for this forum. We can all give a round of applause to the panel. Your cooperation and commitment are greatly valued, and it is my hope that this cooperation will mark the beginning of a long-lasting relationship between our local universities, right, and between the industries, and also with our partner universities, especially for this event we embark on University of Auckland participation. Ladies and gentlemen, for your information, this forum was organized, like I said just before, Bachelor of Customer Service Management student in semester 5. This seminar is conducted to fulfill their assignment for the subject issues in customer service. So after this, they will give the panel evaluation form, okay, to be filled in and to assess them, okay, in terms of organizing the forum. And also it aims to raise awareness among the public about gender equality, which can influence the emotion of individuals in various industries. This seminar provides information on how to control emotions while working, especially for those working in fields required in various industries, based on their experiences rather than their gender. Right? So we would like to hear from the panel their point of view, okay, on this theme. The benefit of this program includes raising awareness among students that gender differences should not be a focal issue in the industry. Okay, so what say the panel after this, right? And this forum also unveils strategies for managing emotions during conflict based on experiences from the industry. And it is hoped that this forum will sensitize students to the importance of prioritizing mental health, particularly within an industry context. So last but not least, with the phrase Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, I hereby officiate the opening ceremony for the forum Health, Equality and Innovation, paving the way for a brighter future. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Madam Hasina, for the opening speech. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's start our forum today. We will continue with the first slot with Dr. Muhammad Hanan and Muhammad Yusuf. But before that, let's watch a video recap about Dr. Thank you very much, Ms. Aisha. Assalamualaikum and very good morning to all of you. My name is Vanilla, and I will be serving as your moderator. First of all, I would like to welcome all audience speakers to our forum, Health, Equality, and Innovation, paving the way for a brighter future. Before I can start our forum today, I would like to introduce you with our guest speaker, Dr. Muhammad bin Muhammad Yusuf, the founder and the chief executive officer of Assalamualaikum WBT. For your information, Dr. Hanan, for your information, Assalamualaikum has more than 100 branches all around Malaysia. And in 2017, Medispa won the Best Spa and Cosmetic Award from the Ministry of Domestic Trade, Cooperative and Consumerism. Lastly, Dr. Hana was also the member of American Academy of Medicine. Assalamualaikum and hello, Hanan. How are you doing today?
Waalaikumsalam. I'm very good.
Alhamdulillah, I'm glad you, Hanan. So, before we can start our work today, I would like to inform you that the Hana will start by giving the lecture with the topic of a man as a beauty wonder. And after the talk, we'll be continuing with the Q&A session. Dr. Hanan, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Ms. Chairperson. First of all, I want to thank UiTM for inviting me. This is my second time at UiTM this month. A week ago, I was in UiTM I was UiTM Machang, and 2 months ago, I was in UiTM Ujala. I'm not regular to UiTM because I'm UiTM alumni, but it was only for 3 months. I was at International Education Center Section 18 Inshallah for 3 months before I applied overseas in 2001. I'm old, I'm 40 years old this year. Alright? Okay, so Hana Medispa, and now we have over 100 projects all over Malaysia. Our revenue last year was about 120 million. This year we are looking at 150 million. And 95%, okay, 99% of our staff, I have 1,200 staff, okay, 1,200. 99% of our staff is female. Yeah, so saya penopang wanita. So, Hana Medispa, most of our staff came from B40, M40 family, right? Mostly they are from rural areas, right? We have a lot of people from Sabah, Sarawak, Kelantan, Terengganu, number Terengganu, I see Sebelah. Okay, so this is my hometown. Just now, there was a photo of me wearing a school uniform. That was taken at Science Group. I was attending the debate competition in Science Group. So Dewan was no stranger to me, right? I love Dewan a lot. I spent a lot of time diving, Pulau Toko. Any scuba diver here? Yeah, you should try scuba diving. Yeah. Anyway, question.
So, President, you will start.
Okay.
I will continue with the topic of the man as a beauty.
A man as a beauty founder. Alright. So just now, your lecturer asked me. Anyway, I have a huge respect for your lecturer. Okay. Last night I spent the whole night reading their publication. Okay. Way back in 2013, and one of it talked about you. I mean, you know, lecturers, teachers, they are the most noble person in the world, right? They literally sacrifice themselves, right, for the sake of your goodness, and nobody cares about them, right? And one of the publication I read about, the lecturer wrote about it. Kudu tak kembang. Tahu? Kudu akan berkembang. Any of you know about it? You all students, UiTM students, didn't know about it, right? It was a program made by your lecturer, especially for students, back then to help you guys, right? To teach you about how student nowadays, how your personality. I mean, you have great lecturers teaching you guys every single day, but you know nothing about them, right? Such a waste. Okay? So that's just an example of people nowadays, right? We fall into the fallacy, okay, of wokeness. Right? Okay, before I started, let me continue talking. I need to ask you a question. You want me to talk about the truth, or you want me to talk to follow your woke idea? You want to hear the truth, or you want me to be politically correct, so I don't offend anyone here? Which one you want? Huh? You want to hear the truth? Huh? Prepare yourself, jangan sakit hati lepas ni. Jangan kecam saya. Alright? Because kids nowadays, because it's different, right? When I spoke at Punchala, right? And when I spoke at UiTM Macha, the reaction is different. Okay? Students at UiTM Macha, they are more open-minded. I asked them, you want to hear the truth? They said, okay. I told them the truth, and they really can accept it, right? But the student from UiTM Macha, I tell them the truth, but they cannot accept, they start doing it. Alright? I mean, what you want to do me for? Right? I'm not the one struggling to find a job here, right? But at the same time, I don't want to offend anyone. That's why I'm asking you now, right? You want me to follow your flow, or you want to hear the truth? But the truth gonna hurt you a lot. Because you guys really fall into one fallacy of life. Okay? Because nowadays lecturer cannot speak, right? Lecturer semua kena gari. Right? There are so many politically correct things that lecturer has to say to make sure that they don't offend anybody. Because students nowadays, for the lack of better word, right? So you want to hear the truth, huh? Okay, bear yourself. Okay, as a founder, why I started with the lecture on media now? Why I quit as a medical doctor? I quit as a medical doctor about 11 years ago, right? I was earning quite a good amount of money salary. Government doctor, I was earning as a government doctor, I was earning about 6,000-7,000 a month. But I quit not because I hate the job, not because the stress, not because being burned out, right? Like you all complaining, let's say, no. It was never an issue for me. For work is work. I quit my job as a government doctor because I know that I will earn more money doing this. That's it. My sole motivation, my highest priority that time was making more money. Alright? And that's the thing I told everybody. You have to be true to yourself. Okay? Tak perlulah nak apa cliche sangat. A lot of you, what you want in life? I want happiness. Okay, I want apa hidup tenang-tenang. That's a lot of bullshit. Alright, just be true to yourself. What do you want actually? Alright, because a lot of you, when there was a time I asked a group of students, what you want to be? Right, when you finish your study. Oh, I want to set up my own company, so I will not get stressed. I can open the shop whenever I want. Right? I can go on holiday whenever I want. Right? That's what you all plan, right? Okay? Is it right or true? I mean, wrong or right? You all want to have a happy life. Right? Hidup tenang-tenang. Betul tak? That's what you all wanted in life. Okay? Everybody did that. And trust me, that's just a dream. It's never a truth. Okay? There's no way you can have something like that. Right? I have all the money in the world, trust me. Okay? But happiness out of 24 hours a day, I mean, you can only just happy about beauty listening. The rest, right? There are issues, there are problems, because this is life. Okay? You have to understand, as long we are living in the world, okay, problem will come. The only time we can taste happiness all the time, bila? When? When are you gonna have an eternal happiness? When? Kat syurga je lah, in paradise. Okay? As long you are living as a human being in this very earth, alright? You will find problems, you will succumb into issues, right? There will be people hate you, alright? There's no such thing as a good life, right? The good life in the world after, dekat paradise, dekat syurga, alright? Stop thinking that you're gonna have a happy, tenang life, right? I give you an example. I mean, if you are such a good person, alright, you do everything by the book, right? You drive 60 kilometers per hour, right? You attend the class every day, you go to work every day. Is there any guarantee that you will not fall into any problem? Right? Sometimes you drive so carefully, right? And suddenly one might repeat just in your car. Right? Just an example of how cool life can be. Okay, that's the point of life as a problem. Okay, jauh lagi. Right? So the point is just be true to yourself. I was true to myself. Right? That's why people hate me. Okay? There was never a single intention in my life to be a person that everybody like. No. I don't like when people like me. Right? Because when people like you, because when people adore you, and once you make a teeny little tiny mistake, and they say all your goodness, all your kindness, gone. Betul ke tak? Right, the only people remember that one little tiny mistake you make. So I would rather live in the world that everybody hate me, right? And in a world that everybody dislike me, okay? But and people expect me to be true. People expect me to say, I mean, the truth. Okay? So we don't fall into the fallacy. Okay? So I always be true to myself. And the true thing about this world is people like money and people like beauty. Betul tak? Right? Siapa tak suka duit, siapa tak suka kecantikan. That's why I decided to jump to the business of beauty because it's a bulletproof business. If you do it correctly. Even during the MCO, Hanan Delifa, while other businesses are, closing down, bankrupt, we are actually opening more branches during MCO. No need to come. Right? When business are closing, when government say beauty salon cannot operate, when people say government give proof tak boleh pergi spa, you know what I did? Buka. Okay? We open during MCO. Government tak boleh sama nak ada dah habis. Okay? Why? Because in the end of the day, perempuan, ladies, right? This is got a third topic. Some women, they would rather die than be ugly. Betul ke tak? Perempuan takut mati macam ni. Right? Kalau tak, if not that's the truth. Why? Ladies, they will go for surgery to become pretty. Right? When I say ladies, women would die to be pretty, you say, oh, that's very undermining wanita. Itu merendahkan wanita. Betul tak? Some of you say, oh, tahanan merendahkan wanita. But the truth is, how many women in the world go for surgery just to become pretty? And every time you go for surgery, you boleh mati tau. Because I was an anesthetist. I worked for government hospital 5 years as Dr. Pius. Do you know what is an anesthetist? The doctor they're in charge of putting you to sleep so you can do any kind of surgery. Right? So every time when I put people to sleep, right, there are risks of that people will not wake up. Okay? And there were so many cases, okay, a normal people go to surgery, okay, put under anesthesia, never wake up. Okay? So literally when ladies go for surgery, cosmetic surgery, they put their life on the line. So I mean they're not just saying perempuan takut mati kerana kecantikan. They literally do it. That's why I jump into the business, knowing that the beauty business is so apa, luxury, right? And do you know how much beauty industry worth in Malaysia? 3 billion. 3 billion beauty industry in Malaysia. Bukan in the world. 3 billion. And Hana Medipa, kita baru dapat 120 to 150 million out of 3 billion. Itu baru, I mean, it's just a small percentage. Right? The rest controlled by Watson, right? And other beauty products. Right? So I saw this market in beauty, such a big market, such, I mean, money-making market, right? That's why I jumped straight away, leaving my job as a doctor. Some of you say, okay, I want to work in the government. Why? Because government, stable, right? Some of us, tak nak pening-pening, right? Decide, okay, when I graduated, when I finish my degree, when I finish my diploma, I want to go into government sector because I want a stable job, right? Because in government, it's very hard for you to be fired. I mean, how lazy you are to fire a government servant take years, all right? If you don't go to work for 1 whole month, if you are government government servant, let's say you are a clerk dekat Putrajaya, right? You don't go to work for 1 month, government cannot fire you that month. Next month can fire you. It takes 2-3 years to fire someone who don't go to work for 1 month. Alright? But if you work in the private sector, you don't attend work for 3 days, but you are done. Okay? That's the difference. And that's why I understand a lot of you want to work into government sector. Okay? Private sector, how much you can earn? The sky is the limit. Right? But the pit also bottomless. You go to government sector, yes, your job is secure. But you punya gaji limited. So when I was in the government, that was the most I could earn. So I decided to jump into the beauty business. Started my first clinic, aesthetic clinic in 2013. I was one of the first doctors in Malaysia who was licensed by KKM to get aesthetic in Malaysia. At that time, there was only 20 doctors who got aesthetic license in Malaysia. So that's how everything started, and the rest is history. People saw me nowadays, they say, oh, Dr. Hanan, have it so easy, right? Wah, senang lah, dia dah kaya. Some of the people talk, oh, Dr. Hanan, anak datuk, anak orang kaya. But the truth is, my dad is only you. My dad is blind. Literally, my dad is blind. Okay? My dad never see me wearing a white coat. My dad never see me as a doctor. Alright? My dad didn't see me when I graduated and when I received my school. He's blind, literally. Okay? My dad, every time I bought new car, he asked me to bring back the car to his house. I said, why you can't see the car? Yeah, it's okay, just bring back the car. Let's bring back the car, right? So I did in the morning after subuh, nobody out of the house, right? So he went up the house, he just dropped the car, filled the car from front to back. So every car that I buy, he said, oh, bring back the car. I want to see it. You cannot see. Right? You're blind. And just bring back the car. So that's what he did. He just go around the car, fill the car, sit inside the car, right? All the steering. I mean, it's sad, right? I mean, I got everything in the world, but I cannot see. But that's not reason for me to be a failure, right? So the hard work, the dedication, that's why money is always a motivation for me. That's why just to be honest, money was motivation for me to start this business. Money was motivation for me to make sure that my business do well so I can help other people. Money was the only motivation for me because I know money can buy happiness, that's for sure, right? But if you're gonna be sad, if you're gonna cry, I'd rather cry in my limousine, right? Rather than what tepi jalan somewhere. Because in the end of the day, sadness will come. Right? Sedih ni tak tunggu kita miskin ke kaya dia datang, betul tak? Right? Sedih kaya, sedih miskin, sedih. Right? So might as well we be rich and sedih daripada miskin. That's my philosophy of life. That's why I do this. Right? Money was always motivation. And I believe everybody also have the same motivation, but people just want to be politically correct. The workers say, oh, cannot pay money, right? Very offending. But you pergi toilet nowadays kena bayar, right? We say money is so important, but everybody here, all the ladies nak kahwin dengan lelaki kaya, right? Money is so important, but mahantaran is 20,000. Gelap. Money is so important, but if you love me, buy me an iPhone. Money is so important, right? But I don't want to go out on apa, tak nak merekrut, I nak naik Honda. My God, right? You want everybody to be politically correct, but deep down inside, just be true to yourself, right?
Alright, and then thank you for the clear description for man as a founder. So, as you say previously, you say that you have most of your staff as a female, right? So, and the the male, your staff as a female, male, is a very minor, yeah. So, every person has a different perspective about gender equality, especially in terms of job sector. As you founder in the beauty sector, I think people who have perspective that men with beauty is not that kind of their stuff. So beauty stuff is only for women. So that is the barrier or the challenges for the men itself to get into the beauty industry. So I want to ask your opinion about gender equality, especially in the job sector as a founder and beauty founder.
Okay, stop with all this wokeness and politically correct thing. There's no such thing as gender inequality. Okay? These issues are created by some people, right, who are actually lazy. If you talk about gender inequality, you are literally just giving excuse for your laziness. That's my point of view. Right? Whoever talk about gender inequality in my very own life, you just lazy. Because why? Number one, God is fair. Allah Maha Adil. Right? Remember. Okay? Why there's such thing as gender inequality? Tell me an example. Why? There are more engineers, male engineers than women engineers. You're talking about that. Of course, there are more male engineers than women engineers. Why? Because if literally program in our brain that men love engineering and women doesn't love engineering, there's no people to understand. Right? There are certain things that men love more. Let's take sports for example. Alright? We're talking about inequality in sport. Why men not pay better in sport compared to women? Why? Because people doesn't love to watch sport. You go to stadiums, how many women are there? Right? There are 95% men in the stadium, only 5% women in the stadium. Then why do we pay more to the women team? Right? Every time you talk about why this women team is not being paid equally. But every time the women team is playing, no woman go to the stadium and support. Right? You don't support your women team. And then you ask them to be pay more. Pay more money if you want them to pay more. Right? What inequality you are talking about? Right? There's no rule in this very world that says women can do things that men can do. Go ahead, do your thing, but what you want to fool yourself, you want to be such a hypocrite, or I want to do certain things just to prove a point that you can stop doing this. That's what I say. Just be true to yourself. Right? You want to talk inequality in engineering. Right. Then suddenly there will be more men. But certain ladies do engineering just to show people that there should be inequality. But in their heart, they love other things. Right. Why? I mean, for another example, right? This, sorry, for the web, better word, bullshit. They say this. When you go out with a man, right, you expect a man to open the door, right, to your car. Huh? Betul tak? You nak lelaki buka pintu kereta. Tak? Huh? We don't expect that. We expect the man to open the door to the restaurant. Huh? You don't expect men to do that. Go ahead, lie to yourself. That's why this wokeness. Right? You expect men to open the door. Right? When you get married, okay? When there's something heavy to be carried around the house, you or your husband going to do it? See? Right? When there's heavy things to be laid at the house, right? The pipe is leaking. You ask your husband to do it. Right? But when the husband asks the wife, can you cook for me? Oh, that's equality. When the husband, can you do the dishes? Oh, that's equality. Right? So it's okay for you to ask men to do all the dirty job, but when a man asks you, right, to make a sandwich, then why need to make a sandwich? Come on. Right? Even in our religion, okay, dalam Al-Quran it says, when ladies go to paradise, what are things that in the Quran hadith mentioned? What is waiting for ladies in the paradise? Things that women love, right? Gold, jewelry, right? So it's not that it's just programmed in our brain. It's written by our God, right? Talk with all the world. There's no number one. There's no such thing as inequality. There's no such thing as oppressing the family, the ladies not appreciating the guy. It's just how the world works. I mean, look at in the beauty sector. If you ask for equality, right? If you want more ladies in the engineering department, if you want more ladies in the management, in the higher managing team, whatever it is, right? But then you ask yourself, you want men to do your fashion? Huh? You want? Nah, there you go. Do you want men to do waxing? No, right? Then what are we talking about? There are things that men for ladies. There are things that men for men. It's been like that for hundreds of years, right? Okay, right? For the past 2,000 years, nobody get killed because gender inequality. And all these issues being brought up, being so widely spread, and you all fall into the penalty, right? Just because of a certain group of people that are actually lazy of doing things that they are supposed to do and giving so many excuses. and you just fall into the trap. Right? Come on. Yeah? Why do I have so many ladies workers? Why I hire all ladies employers? Ladies staff. Why? Right? Because I believe that women can get a job done. That's it. Okay? Men can get their job done in their own department. But in beauty, it's a woman world. Okay? There's no such thing as inequality. Right? Understand. Certain people are meant to do certain things. That's it. Stop talking about gender inequality. Alright? Again, this is life on earth where there are certain people who are crazy. Right? That's why they are psychiatric ward. Unfortunately, not all crazy people is a psychiatric ward. Some of them are freely walking around. Some of them are freely talking on YouTube. Some of them are freely talking in a group, and they call it feminism. And if you follow the kind, you are crazy too. Alright? Look at your mom. Look at your grandmother. Is your mom being oppressed? Hmm? Our mother, our grandmother, happy ke tak happy diorang? Look at it. Look at your mother. Look at your grandmother. Are they happy? Happy tak? Huh? Nenek kita, mak kita, they are happy, right? Are they talking about gender inequality? That is topic. Serious, right?
So I think I can conclude that Dr. Hanyan's point was for us to stick and be real, be true to ourselves by go ahead with what we want to do, what job sector that we want to enter in the future. So I want to ask, I'm pretty sure that you have been experiencing this kind of gender discrimination as you and men become a beauty family, right? So I would like to ask how you handle the gender discrimination. For example, Dr. Hannah is yada yada, the one is that, so how you handle the situation?
There's a saying in English, stick and stone may break me. Pernah dengar? Any of you heard the saying? Huh? Stick and stone may break me. Pernah dengar? Faham tak? Dalam bahasa Melayu kan, orang lempar batu, orang lempar apa-apa kat kita, mungkin boleh menyakitkan kita. Right? But words are just words. Remember that. Okay? Sakit ke orang cakap buruk kita? Is it really hurt physically when someone say bad thing about us? Huh? Can you prove physically when I say, sorry, you are stupid? Show me. Mana sakit? Can you show? Mana sakit? Where? Heart. Where's your heart? Huh? Okay, tell me scientifically how a heart can feel pain. Which nervous system? How? Scientifically, where's your mind? Which part of brain? Which part of brain control feeling? Right brain, which part of brain? You can't even show it. Where is your brain? What is brain? That's not brain. See? It's just a feeling that you made up by yourself. You can't even point it exactly. Where is your medulla oblongata? Where's your pons? PONS. Right? Where's your gyrus? You can't even tell me where is the pain. You can't even specifically tell me where and how it works. So that feeling, right, the hurt that you feel is just something that you created by your own thinking. It's just how you accept the thing. Right? So listen to me. This is life. Okay, people say things that hurt you. Tadi you juga dengar yang betul-betul dia kan? When I ask you just now, you want to hear the full answer or the real answer, you ask for the real answer. Right? Listen to me, listen to me. When anyone and any of you being hurt, when people say bad things about you, right? Words are just words. Alright? Kata-kata hanyalah kata-kata. It depends on how you react to it. Okay? If you choose not to be hurt by the word, it's nothing. Sure. It depends on how you react on people. Words are just words. The words cannot injure you in any physical way. So if you choose the word to be hurtful, it's going to be hurtful. Right? That's why ada pepatah Melayu say, kan? Tak apa? Tak mati dikeji, kan? Kena puji pun janganlah nak happy sangat. Right? And the thing about her is, you like being praised, you like being, when people say good thing about you, you feel happy, kan? Suka orang puji, suka disanjung tinggi, that's the thing about her. Right? But, kalau kita suka dipuji, orang puji, kita kena terima lah. As much as you want people to say good things to you, you have to accept that at certain days, people gonna say bad things about you. That's what we call being alive. Right? So stop the nonsense, saya sakit hati, I'm hurt. Every single day for me, right, people say bad things about me. Right? Online, TikTok, I always get viral because of my business. Right? I'm sure a lot of you have read the viral thing about Hana Manifa. Right? People say nasty things about me. Okay? But for me, that's part of the game. Right? With all the things with all the wealth that I get, okay, with all the money that I accumulated over the years, you think everybody will be happy watching me drive a Ferrari around? Do you think people will, do you think the netizen is happy watching me buying cars every month? No, right? Right. For every 10% who like you, there are 100% who hate you. That's the rule. Okay? So words are just words. Just depend on how we react to it. And stop living with the fallacy of this is hidup tenang-tenang. Okay, back to my first notion just now. There's no such thing as hidup tenang-tenang. There's no such thing as happiness ever after. Okay, this is life, deal with it. Right, some days people like you, most of the days people hate you. Okay, if you understand the foundation of life, then you'll be okay. People just say bad things that thing to you, but deep down inside you understand words are just words. Right, nothing can hurt you. And when you understand the definition of life, there will be no mental problem. Okay, the problem right now, everybody got stress, anxiety, not because people literally hit you, because you cannot take what people say when people say bad things about you. And you all start with all this nonsense. Okay.
Thank you, Dewan. I would agree with your opinion about work is just work because our life in future it just depends on others' work. So we just need to believe ourselves. We just need to bear in ourselves that their words do not it's not affect our life. So before I open to the question for the audience, I would like to ask you, do you have any advice for students here to enter your job sector in the future?
Okay, this is very important message to you guys. Alright? I have 1,200 staff. every single day we do interview, right? We do hiring every day. Why? Number one, because we are opening more branches. Secondly, a lot of people leaving the company. Okay? And most of you guys, after you graduated, okay, more than half fail to get a job that you wanted. Okay? I would say 80% of you will find a job so different than what you learned in the university. Only 10% will get exactly what you learned. Most of you end up doing something else. And how will not find a job at all? Why? Okay? It's not the fault of the university. It's not the fault of your lecturer. The 50% that you still get a job is because of your personality. Why? Number one, you think too highly of you. Right? You thought that you have a degree. Okay? You thought that you are pretty, good looking. You thought that you have everything, all the packages, right? Oh, I did my practical, blah, 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 and you have a job interview, thinking that those things are enough for company to hire you. That's a lot of nonsense. Alright? Number one, company hire you not because of your degree, not because of your diploma. Company hire someone who has a very good attitude. Attitude always trumps everything. You can be stupid, you can be just an SPM holder, right? But if you have a good attitude, right, you will go a long, long, long way. All right. What kind of attitude I'm looking for? Okay. Most of you, when you go for interview, you don't even study about the company that you apply. Right? Because you think too highly of yourself. Oh, I have a degree, I have a diploma. Right? I'm young, I'm pretty. Right? And so you just simply turn out to the company in the morning of the interview. Right? My name is Siti, blah blah, graduated from IIT with 5.5% CGPA. Right? And you should hire me. I want my salary 4,100 ringgit. Right? And then the boss says go to hell. Okay? Why? Because when the boss asks you, do you know how to do the job? What is our company doing? Oh, I don't know. But you can teach me. Right? Then when people ask you, why did you apply for the job? Oh, I want to learn something new. You want to learn something, you learn in the university, not at other people's company. Right? Another stupid answer is, why you apply this job? Oh, I want to get new experience. That's the most nonsense answer. Okay, when you say you want to get experience, you want to go get experience, you go climbing, you go pursue by diving. Other people company is not a place for you to earn experience. Can any one of you here tell me the answer, the right answer when the company asks you, why should I hire you? Bagi satu ini. Anyone can answer the right answer. When you go for interview, right? The question that you will get, why should I hire you? What's the answer? Go to the mic. 100 ringgit for the right answer.
Considering your opportunity,
You go for interview. This is why you fail the interview because you don't know the answer. When the boss asks you, why should I hire you? What's the answer? What's the correct answer? Why should I hire you? 100 ringgit. Pergi gambar. Takut pun. Come on. Why should I hire you? There's only one answer that every boss wants to hear. Why should I hire you?
Because I learned
Huh?
I learned
but because you want money, tak tepat. Of course, you want a job because you want the salary, right? But why as a company should I hire you?
Because I want to add your revenue.
That's it. Betul. Bagi saya dulu. Kamu ambil kali. Tinggal dulu. Tu je lah. The only answer that you should give, okay, when you go for any interview, right? Jangan jawab saya nak cari pengalaman. Jangan jawab saya nak bina something. Jangan jawab I want to learn something. The only answer any boss want to hear, I want to work for you because I want to make money for you. Wow. Be true. Okay? Be honest to yourself. Be honest to everybody. It's easier that way. Right? So when you go tell your boss, I want to make more money for you. Boss leader mana tak nak. Betul tak? Right? Because the whole idea of any business in the world is to make money, right? So the whole idea of hiring people is to make more money, right? So if you don't get that, then why should I hire you? When everybody here, when everyone in the world, when everyone in Malaysia understand that when you go to work is to make money for the company, then everything will be easier. No need to give motivation, no need to give talk, no need to have meeting, because everybody understands the reason why I come to work today is to make money for the company. So automatically you will work harder, automatically do the best for the company. Because if you're not doing the best, if you're not being on time, if you don't do the job exactly as the company wanted, you will not make money. Right? Easy. Make money for other people, for people to pay you money. Right? Ada ke orang kerja kat situ, saya kerja di kelas? Ada? Nothing, right? You all tadi kat sini pun ambil PT-PTN, betul tak? PT-PTN, betul? You have to pay back the PT-PTN, right? Okay, it's all about money, right? Yeah, it's all about money. Sorry for being such a very superficial today, right? Some of you don't follow what kind of person are you, right? Too superficial, it's all about money, right? Hidup ni tak setia buat. But sorry to hear. And remember this, you can be rich and nice person, okay? Or you can be poor and bad person. Kaya tak semestinya jahat, miskin tak semestinya baik. Right? You can be rich and you can be a nice person. Be that person. Stop being so cliche. It's okay. We don't have money, but we are nice people. If you don't have money, how can you help people? If you don't make a lot of money for your company, how much can you give to the ideal government? We pay millions in zakat, income tax every year. Millions I pay every year in zakat. That's why every event at the Masjid Agama Kelantan, Kelantan I pay zakat in Kelantan. During Hari Raya, the Muslim will call me back to the hutan. Why? Because he will introduce me to the hutan. Tuanku is one of the biggest contributors zakat Kelantan. Right? That's why you need to be rich in order for you to have a lot of people. Okay? I came from a very poor family. Just now in the video mentioned that my father came from a very poor family, right? And you know the reason why my father is blind? Not that my father is born blind, he gradually become blind because when my father is born, my grandmother has a lot of children. And to be honest, I don't know how many bapa saudara I have. Because my father being raised by a doctor family, because my grandmother cannot afford to raise my father. So she gave away my father to other family. That's how poor my family was. And my father got blind because the adopted family pun tak kaya juga. Unfortunately. So every single day, my father, he studied under the policeman. Right. So because of the poor lighting, damage the nerve around the eye. Right. So as he get older, by the time he get over 25, 26, 30 years old, the vision get blurry, and until one day he's completely blind. Right. That's being poor to me. That's why I don't like being poor, because my dad got blind because he's poor. That's why I told myself I will never be a poor people. Okay? I suffer from being poor. Okay? Kemiskinan tu buat bapa saya jadi buta. Right. Funny enough, my wife is a eye surgeon. My wife tak tahu buat apa. Dia love damage. Right. My wife, funny thing is an eye surgeon. This year, she won one of the best surgeon award dekat Tokyo. Nothing she can do about that because the damage caused by travel. It's not fixable. I don't want to be poor. Right? Imagine you work so hard in your life, you study. I never get B in my life. Daripada standard 1 until I finish school. I never get B. But my father tak pernah tengok pun my exam result. How sad is it? When you graduated, everybody was having a fight. Why you wasn't there? Okay? I don't want to be poor. Okay?
Thank you. I want to ask for any audience that had questions to ask to our speaker today. I open for 2 questions and 2 people. Any guys? Jangan mana-mana dulu. Any question regarding our topic or any question that crossed your mind?
Jangan takut.
Ya,
Don't be scared.
Anda tak marah.
Marah sekarang. Practice. Because when you go to the working, bila you masuk zaman kerja lagi, I'm sure your workers will be worse than me. This is how you practice.
I guess we can mind here.
Assalamualaikum.
Hello.
My name is Shashira. So my question is actually, as an employer, what is the most difficult thing in your life?
Okay, thank you. Okay, the bigger analytical become, the more people we hire, right? When I have 3 staff, when I started, I only have 3 staff. So there's no such thing as staff buat perangai. It was only 3 staff. They were with me every single day. I monitor them every day in front of my very eyes. So it was easier. But when it gets bigger right now, I have 1,200. Okay? Guys, you ada satu girlfriend tu pening mana betul tak? Nah, you imagine I nak jaga ni wanita. Okay? Crazy you. Right. Nak menjaga hati 1,200 wanita. Craziest thing in the world. Right? Come on. They can't even decide where to eat. Okay? Nak ajak makan tu boleh gaduh. Well, 1%. You imagine that problem, you times 1,000. That's the problem I'm having right now. Okay? Taking care of 1,000 fragile, kan? The craziest thing. Okay? So I don't know how lecturer, that's why everywhere I go to UiTM, because what? Berapa student? So just now, your lecturer told me 8,000. Right? Because, I mean, saya jaga 1,200. Crazy, you know. Hey, you take care of 100, 200 per month. Right? Okay? The problem about ladies, okay? They are okay when they are single. No. The moment they have boyfriend, that's it now. Right? Because no matter how excellent a lady, a woman is, right? The moment they got heartbroken, that is done. Right? They cannot come to work, right? If they come also they try to work, like same go for you guys, kan? Boleh nak belajar, boleh nak buat story, kan? So they bring all the sadness to the people surrounding them, right? So that's why janganlah bercinta, because 365 days, those who yang bercinta tu, yang happy bulan je, kan? 11 months bergaduh, right? So those are the challenges that I'm having right now, taking care, especially because anak Rizwan, our staff all young ladies, okay? And another problem I'm having right now, terlalu ramai janda. Gelap. You know how many people that get divorced in Malaysia every day? Berapa? How many? How many people file for divorce every day? In Malaysia. In Kelantan, 5,000 couple file for divorce every day. Kelantan, so imagine the whole Malaysia. And out of my 1,200 staff, the divorcee, janda, about 300 ladies. And I'm not talking about 40 years old women. I'm not talking about 30 years old mother. I'm talking about 25 years old mother with 2, 3 kids. Okay? And then I was like, saya kira pekerjaan semua lepas IPM, orang berhenti. My staff, 90% degree holder. Okay? My mates, okay, I have 6 people dekat rumah saya. Two guys, 4 mates. My mates, all local, all degree holder. Okay, mate saya 4 orang. 4 degree holder, my mates. Alright, so back to my staff. Out of 200, 300 of them are single mother. Most of them get married very young age, 21 years old, after masih belajar. Alright, kahwin tahun 2, bercerai. Ladies, what is the biggest reason orang bercerai? Why? Number 1 cause for divorce in Malaysia. Man, dia cakap tu. Why? Money. The biggest reason why people file for divorce, why people get divorced is money. Alright. Why lelaki buku wanita? Why? Kita tahu lelaki itu bodoh kan? The fact that any guy in the world hit a woman shows that how stupid a man can be. Right? Guys, listen to me. Wanita is created by God. Wanita dijadikan oleh Allah. They can withstand childbirth. Tahu tak betapa sakit melahirkan anak? Wanita, ladies, they can withstand the pain when you are giving birth. Pernah tengok tak orang lahirkan anak? Okay? Tipu. Bila wanita lahirkan anak, okay, when you are tengah push baby tu, tahu tak doktor akan potong dia punya tu, tempat tu, hidup-hidup some of you, without abuse, they just cut, to take out the baby out. And women can endure that. Wanita boleh tahan sakit kena potong hidup-hidup. And the man thought by hitting women, dia hati dia boleh gain power. Bodoh tak? Bodoh tak lagi? Wanita boleh tahan lahirkan anak kena potong hidup-hidup. And laki tanpa wanita dia kata, why? What proof? Apa kita clear point apa? Betul tak? That's why I say to your lecturer, laki memang tak guna. That's why, because saya pernah, there was a case, my staff got kena pukul dengan husband, and the son video call me. Saya tengok benda tu live. Staff saya kena pukul dengan husband. Tahu tak sebab apa husband dia pukul? Duit. Masa PKP hari tu kan, ada dapat duit KDSP. Betul kan? So dah dapat duit KDSP, pergi belanja perempuan lain. So my staff called it, right? And then phone from the husband happy, pound pukul. She was bleeding all over the floor. So I called the police yang tu. So the question is, why? Kita tahu lelaki tak guna, kita tak buang. Why lelaki pukul wanita? Why? Siapa boleh bagi jawapan? Because the guy think that you cannot live without them. Right? So in order for you to reverse that, what can you do? What women can do to avoid being hit by these useless men? Memang pandai. So she's right. Imagine if you got married, alright? You got married, you stay at your house, not his house. You have your own car. Okay? Everything, you have your own money. Berani kena pukul you. The problem right now is, the man, when they hit your wife, they say, kau nak keluar, kau nak keluar, this is my house. Betul tak? Kau tak ada rumah, kau nak keluar. Aku pukul kau nak keluar bagaimana? The car is mine. But if you own the house, you own the car, right? You are richer than me. Berani pukul. Kau pukul aku, itu aku kahwin lain. Betul? Right? So that's why kita wanita, kita kena bersatu. Because I really hate men. Sedih dah tengok my staff kena pukul. Not one case, many cases. Right? Since I started Hana Khalifa, I dah jadi expert di masalah cerai. I lagi pandai daripada peguam charity. Siapa ada masalah cerai? Because my staff, right? Every month ada yang pergi naik court. I dah tahu lah bila court panggil pasang menjadi lah. Okay, so I really hate when women being kena oppressed by men. But at the same time, kita dah establish the fact that guy memang tak guna. So you have to be extra careful using your partner. What's the number one red flag for men? Alah, masa bercinta mana tunjuk? Alah. Kau ingat yang kena pukul tu memang apa, awal bercinta kena pukul? Lelaki, the best apa, actor in the world. Masa bercinta lelaki tu tak, I macam you nak pijak kan? Lelaki, you tak boleh baca. So apa red flag lelaki? Yang you nampak, the red flag guys, that you all can see, but you so dark. You realize it. What's the most apa red flag? I believe how will you can be it? Apa? Betul. Apa red flag lelaki yang tahu tu? Right? Any, you should never berkahwin or bercinta dengan someone yang smoke. Alright? That's number one rule to have a better life. I'm not saying happiness, to have a better life. Right? Why should they marry or be in a with smoker? Why? Okay? I'm not talking about the health factor. Right? You tak rokok, anak you cacat, that's the problem. The fact that dia tak rokok, okay, you yang mati dulu. Right? Second smoker always die first. Right? The fact that he smoke, that you get cancer. Everybody knows that, right? Another reason why you didn't marry a smoker, why? When you get married, right? You tak bagi your partner smoke in the house, betul tak? Then what happens? Then he go out, right? Every night, tak tahu tu. Dia pergi lepak kedai, betul tak? Right, first night dia keluar dengan kawan. Second night dia keluar dengan kawan. Third night kawan dia tak ada. Dia pun duduk seorang dekat kedai. Right, kebetulan kat kedai tu ada pelayan cantik. Hari ketiga dia order tengok air. Hari keempat dia minta nombor mobile. Betul tak? 1 month later dia bercinta dengan perempuan lain. You kat rumah, dia ada keluar itu. After 1 year, dia kahwin dengan perempuan tu. You get divorced. Simple man. 80% of divorce, husband tidak rokok. Okay? Saya tak cakap merokok ini menyebabkan perceraian. Tapi kajian menunjukkan 80% perceraian, bila ditanya, laki tidak rokok. Right? So if you marry a smoker, you are asking for divorce. That's another way to do it. Faham? Okay? And most case, yang perempuan kena pukul, okay, laki ialah drug addict. Faham? 99.9% drug addict ialah smoker. Faham? Semua drug addict juga rokok. And you be able to kahwin dengan rokok. You do the best. Okay, that question panjang.
Alright, thank you, Dr. Hanan. I think Shakira, you got to answer that. So amazing, Dr. Hanan, you had more than 1,000 just this service women. So that is the highest that Dr. Hanan faced. So I think we cannot continue with the second question because the email of time. So I think the first one we end here. Thank you to Dr. Hanan for spending your time together to share with us. Any last section?
Thank you.
To all audience, thank you for your time and your ear together with us. Listen to our first slide this month. Perhaps you can stay here for our second slot with the greatest speaker from University Technology Malaga and Ramos for more unexpected sharing. We will take a break before we get started on the second slot. Thank you.
So, it is clear that gender equality is not a secret in any industry. Ladies and gentlemen, our program will continue with the Ahmad Zaini for second. Please welcome Madam Hafizah.
Thank you, Ms. Aisha. So welcome back to our second talk of forum. And now we will continue our second slot with a beautiful and smart speaker, Madam Aziza and by me. For your information, Madam Aziza is the Senior Lecturer of Economics, Faculty of Business and Management, University of Malaysia, Pusat. Now speaker today is one of the 55 professional economic markets organized by the Academy of Professional Consultants, APIC, starting from 2018 until now. Madam Aziza was intensively trained by the master trainer in the field of English. Lastly, our guest speaker for today also enhanced top certified training commission by Pembangunan Dewan certified in 2019. Assalamualaikum, hi Madam Aziza, how are you doing today?
Waalaikumsalam.
Alhamdulillah, kita here.
Thank you.
It's been a while since I lost one of your students back in 2020, right? The campus round. So I know you a lot. So, alright, but before we can start, our second slot with Madam Aziza, I would like to inform you that Madam Aziza will also start by giving a speech about the topic of unleashing your inner spark, exploring the depth of personality. So, Madam Aziza, this is yours.
Okay, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A very good morning to everyone here. How are you today? Great, very good. Okay, so tak ada title untuk topik ni kan? Itu dah tadi. So, unleashing your inner spark, exploring the depth of personality. Banyak kita nak cakap. And first of all, please allow me to deliver the talk in languages, Malay and also English. So, jangan rasa macam dalam kelas lah. Nampak depan dia ada pesyarah, dan dia rasa macam aku ni nak kena sepadan aku kan. So, dia pergi mati. Because I'm here to tell you, sebab bila kita nak cakap tentang exploring the depth of personality, you want to unleash your inner spark. Apa yang kat sini tahu apa sebenarnya personality yang baik ni, apa yang nak katakan daripada punya diri sendiri ni. Dah sempat. Apa dia? Dia lecture ni dah cakap diri. Boleh diri ke? Thank you. Nak tak ada diri yang. Okay. So sama-sama kita boleh juga lah. Masuk dalam kereta tak ya? Kasi sikit ya? Oh, okay. Alright. Menggunakan sikit. Alright. So, bila kita cakap tentang personality, apa yang sendiri kamu faham tentang personality? Anyone? Tadi pun tak ada sebut juga. We look at your personality very much highly. Kan? So, penting kan jadi cantik aja? Penting kan jadi smart dan jadi macam? Penting tak? Aku tak boleh pula. Tapi bukan lagi sahaja kan? Lagi ni. Lagi ni. Lagi? How to dress up? Okay, dia kena kita punya appearance lah. So, when we talk about image and personality, sebenarnya kita kena consider tiga main element. A, B, C. Appearance, behavior and communication. Tak lengkap appearance, tak lengkap behavior, tak lengkap communication, you tak boleh nak develop a good personality. Tak boleh nak portray professionalism. So, sebab tu lah bila setiap kali saya sharing, saya conduct workshop, classes untuk pekerja dekat luar, ada juga untuk student, ada untuk staff, government staff, ada juga untuk private staff. So mereka biasanya memang nak tahu macam mana dia nak tunjukkan professionalism in terms of image tu. Jadi saya kata image ni bukannya kita tengok daripada appearance. Kalau mengikut pada kajian Profesor Albert Meridian, more than 55% tu orang akan suka tu kita tengok dari kita punya visual. So that will portray from our appearance. And then another 38% from your vocal. Apa yang you cakap, macam mana cara you bercakap, communicate dengan orang. And then another 11% tu cuma vocab je. Kataan-kataan yang kamu gunakan kepada orang. So that will make a very good first impression yang you nak tunjukkan from your good personality. Itulah juga kadang-kadang macam saya nak relate dari apa yang Dr. Hanan dah mention tadi. Why some graduates they pergi for interview and they fail. Selain daripada attitude tu, because of that three elements tadi. Right? So saya pernah jadi juga sebagai one of the panel untuk executive interview di UiTM. And then memang kebanyakannya tu diorang terlalu banyak, kita kata macam terlalu bercerita tentang kehebatan diri masing-masing, tetapi dia tidak relatekan dengan attitude yang sepatutnya mereka berikan kepada company. Jadi everybody ada more than 50 candidates untuk dapatkan job position sebagai young executive. Satu je position, tapi datang 50 candidate. Semua on paper bagus, ada degree and everything kan. So not only the appearance yang kita tengok dari segi dia punya behavior dengan attitude. Ya. So bila kita nak ceritakan tentang personality itu sendiri, dan kita tengok hari ni you punya main concern, you nak tahu tentang apa? You nak tambah baik you punya penampilan? Ada di sini? Nak tahu tips dia macam mana? Kan? Sebab mungkin you nak buat some preparation, nak attend for interview, right? And then mungkin saya boleh tunjuk juga sikit nanti macam mana you nak naikkan, nak ada good personality ni. Saya pegang kepada kata-kata bersama saya masa saya belajar degree dulu. Saya dulu degree in finance, BBA Honours in Finance, graduated from UiTM insyaAllah. First batch yang kena ambil subjek yang baru diperkenalkan pada masa itu ialah personality development. Personal development atau personality development. Ada student finance tak dekat sini? Ada tak belajar subjek ni? Nama dia apa? Personal development ke personality development? Dah tak ada? Oh sayang. Apa dia? Oh dah tukar personality arrangement. Tapi yang namanya tu ialah personal development something like that. Yang mana belajar sedikit tentang macam mana kita nak carry out ourselves as a good person juga lah sebenarnya. Saya nak prepare ourselves in the industry and everything, about leadership, motivation and so on. Dia kata kalau you tak boleh score A untuk subjek ni, maksudnya you don't have good personality. Itu je. So maksudnya bukan setakat kita baca tu, nak menghafal memang susah nak menghafal sebab kita terlalu banyak emosi. Saya memang tak suka nak menghafal. Tapi apa yang saya buat, saya lebih percaya pada you practice what you teach. So you nak jadi orang yang baik, you kena nak dapat personality tu, you kena from time to time try to improve and improve it. Itu apa yang saya percaya. Ya? Dan memang bila dah umur yang dah for your information lah, only in my mid-40s. Ya? So saya lebih ke arah orang kata menuju ke orang kata apa, kehidupan di akhirat lah orang kata kan. Kalau betul cakap apa tadi, saya cakap susah. Saya dulu memang macam-macam apa yang Dr. Hanan beritahu tu, kita nak yang gini pekerjaan kita. Kita nak dapat yang best-best saja kan. Tapi bila saya di usia begini, saya nampak apa yang saya boleh beri manfaat kepada anak-anak bangsa kita sendiri, itu yang saya kejar. Dan saya nak perbaiki apa yang saya dah rugi masa saya muda-muda dulu sebenarnya. Saya kata kenapa lah masa muda-muda dulu saya tak banyak nak buat baik dengan orang. Kenapa masa muda-muda dulu saya kurang amalan saya contohnya. Jadi saya percaya bila saya tengok ramai orang yang berjaya-berjaya ni, di samping dia punya kejayaan personality dia dari segi akademik, penampilan, personality dia yang bagus juga saya tengok ada tambah dengan umur agama juga. Jadi jangan rugikan masa muda kamu tu untuk benda tu kena salah. Saya dunia pun you kena kejar kerja jaya, memang kena dapat orang kata apa, pendapatan yang bagus, peneliti yang bagus, sebab you boleh membawa orang lain untuk, kalau kita nak relate kan dengan perniagaan, tak satu background bachelor business, you sendiri pun menjadi orang kata apa, satu, bila you tunjuk good contoh example pada orang lain, so you pun boleh menarik orang lain untuk ikut kerja bersama-sama dengan you sebenarnya. Okay? Jadi saya rasa benda tu dia akan membentuk personality yang bagus juga. Sebab you nak jadi leader, you nak tarik orang, you kena ada good leadership, you kena ada good personality juga. Tapi tak dinafikan, good personality ni bukan you kena jadi sentiasa tawadu aja, kan? Setiap orang dia ada karakter dia ada personality dia. Macam saya sebenarnya, kalau di UiTM, rakan-rakan pensyarah yang lain mengatakan Kak Nisa ni garang tu sebenarnya. So, saya kata ke saya garang? Dan bila saya balik, saya suka tanya anak saya, Aisyah, mami garang berapa persen tadi? Kadang-kadang saya bawa anak saya ikut saya pergi ke UiTM. Oh, mami hari ni mami garang ada dalam 70%. Bagi macam tu. Orang 100 bagi 70%. Anak tu belajar dulu. So, kita pun boleh tahu, okey, bukan sedikit ke apa, kita kaji balik. Tapi saya bukannya garang tak tentu masa, bukannya jenis orang macam dalam bahasa kasar je, bukannya jenis suka doyan, kadang-kadang kenapa doyan kan? Tak, bukan. Garang tu adalah dari sudut kita memberitahu apa yang benar. So saya dengan apa poin ada beritahu lagi, you punya personality, ada orang akan suka, ada orang tak suka, kan? Because you are just being yourself. Saya pun kalau saya tak ada nak berfilm, especially kalau time dalam meeting. Bagi saya dalam meeting, kalau betul you nak gaduh waktu tu lah, you jangan bawa untuk buat meeting. Betul dari personal. Dalam meeting you professional, you tak puas hati, you tak boleh tahu berapa kebaikan, walaupun it hurts for you to say it, and also for those people yang ada nak tersakiti, kan? Tapi bagi saya, there is professionalism dalam tu. Okay, jadi selalunya saya akan jadi that person dekat dalam meeting tu, walaupun sebenarnya orang yang dekat, tak saya akan jadi idola. Dia kata, jangan tak idolakan saya. Dia kata, ikut yang baik-baik dia jahat, jangan ikut. Dia tak teruk, jangan ikut. Gitu sebab dia kata apa? Kita tak berani nak cakap. Selalunya kan dosa saya bukan cakapkan. Dia kata, no, you kena be responsible dan untuk accountability untuk apa yang cakap tu. Takut tak sampai, dia kata. Maksud tu, dia kata takut tak sampai. Okay? So, again, sometimes kita rasa macam bila kita bercakap, kita beritahu apa benda benar tu, orang tak suka kita. Tapi sebenarnya dekat luar, lebih ramai orang yang akan appreciate apa yang kita buat untuk mereka. Okay? Jadi, saya rasa benda tu boleh menjawab dululah yang first soalan. First soalan tu, introduction tadi saya tu. Introduction tapi dah masuk kan? Boleh lah, sebab tu masa tak banyak untuk saya kan.
Sebagai seorang profesional consultant sendiri, bila buat rasa mental dengan physical care could affect personality of seseorang itu.
Oh, of course. Saya nampak tak orang tak waras cantik budaya. Ada juga kadang-kadang tu kan, tapi tak ada kan ada, tapi kebanyakannya kita nampak bila dia punya mental dah affected sikit lah, atau disrupted sikit, dia dah mula rasa macam tak nak apa pasal kebajikan diri dia sendiri. Dia macam tak kisahlah apa orang kata pun, kan? Biasanya kita nampak orang bila tak ambil tindakan pasal dia punya physical care. Especially masa time MCO. Berapa ramai yang mandi, yang tak mandi dekat rumah, masa tu nanti pakai orang tak pakai backpacking ni tak mandi pula hari tu kan. Kan nak mana pun kita depan laptop ni, sudah saja kita belajar. Itu mengaku, berapa ramai yang mandi sekali sehari, 2 hari sekali je kan. Berbangun tidur terus online. Kan? Kamu yang bekerja pun akan je nampak cantik. Bawah tu saya batik dan ikat semua tu. Kan? Keluar tidur. Saya cakap terus terang, masa saya MCO, walaupun saya kerja mengajar secara online guna WebEx, kan, guna Google Meet ke, saya tetap akan bersiap sebaik mungkin. Macam saya keluar juga. Sampai kat saya tidak boleh tahu dah. Kalau saya cantik je, dia tanya, mana nak buat apa? Mana nak keluar ke? Mana nak dapat kelas ke? Itu nak menunjukkan juga yang mana kita nak sentiasa rasa positif. Secara lahiriahnya memang kita ni rasa lebih confident, kita rasa lebih sihat mental kita bila kita nampak cantik. Betul tak? Siapa kat sini, okay, dia bila keluar tu dia rasa confident.
Kau tarik ke sana, power bank. Ya, tarik sini.
Dia orang confident. Betul ke? Yang dia confident je. Yang lelaki baru tak confident kan. Tapi ada juga lelaki yang kadang ketika saya dekat itu kan, dia tanya ada masalah-masalah lain lah. Berkaitan dengan kecantikan ada juga. Tapi kebanyakan perempuan dia akan tak boleh tak siap lagi ni. Kata ni kita pergi makan kejap, tak mandi lagi ni. Berapa ramai yang berani keluar makan dekat kedai mamak tu tak mandi lagi. Jadi kawan ajak pergi macam tu. Tak kan? Jadi sebenarnya benda tu bila kita jaga kita pergi care, sebenarnya bagi saya benda ni nak berkait tau. Tak tunjuk personality, nak tunjuk kita punya mental care kita punya physical care. Dalam image professionalism pun selalunya kita menggalakkan untuk semua orang jaga kebersihan diri. Itu paling penting. Tak cantik, tak apa. Benda tu subjektif. Tak handsome, tak apa. Benda tu subjektif. Yang penting dia bersih. Siapa suka benda yang kotor? Kan? Daripada bersih apa lagi? Kemas. Ini kadang-kadang saya nampak lalu ramai sangat pelajar-pelajar saya kalau di UiTM yang lelaki lah especially, minta maaf cakap, kurang kemas dari segi pakaian, rambut. Bila tak dididik daripada sekarang di universiti, itu dijadikan kabut bila dia nak prepare untuk pergi interview tu, dia tak tahu what's the best untuk dia beri kepada dia punya potential employer. Dan benda ni sebenarnya untuk kita jadikan kita punya good habit, jaga kebersihan diri sebenarnya, kita kena buat hari-hari konsisten, jadi amalan. Ada ilmu, you tak amal, benda ni takkan jadi. Tak ada ilmu, tak amal, lagi dah teruk. Apa yang membezakan orang yang berjaya dengan tak berjaya, dia sibuk tapi dia berjaya, dia sibuk tak berjaya, bezanya cuma ilmu je. Macam mana you nak gunakan ilmu tu for that you can manage your time, you nak kekal tetap nampak bersih semua ni. Bila you dah bersih, bila you dah mandi, you dah fresh semua tu, you punya mind dah fresh lah. Kan? Cuma kalau you bangun tidur, you buat kerja semua, you pun rasa macam tak ada semangat lah nak buat ni semua. Benda tu buat factor. Jadi sebab tu saya percaya kita punya mental, walaupun kita ada masalah macam-macam sekalipun, kita nak sedih tu jangan lama-lama, kita nak rasa stres pun jangan terlalu lama sampai dia tidak affect kita punya hidup kita hari-hari. So bila banyak lagi benda tu nak kongsi saya banyak pengalaman, especially saya MCO, masa tu saya jadi ketua pusat pengajian. Student ramai mental dia affected sebab kat rumah tak ada capaian internet. Lepas tu ada yang jenis kalau belajar tu dia kena pandang muka lecturer pada depan, so dia tak dapat. Daripada student yang memang masa first semester, second semester dia dapat increase, masuk third semester because of the MCO, no internet connection at home, terus drop, dia sangat stres sampai kan dia berkurung dalam diri. Dan ini bukan dia sudah perempuan, sudah lelaki. Rupanya baru saya belajar di situ, saya bukan psikologi, tapi baru saya belajar rupanya lelaki lagi mudah terganggu mental dia, kemurungan itu. Sampai kan the parents also contacted me and then mengadu berat. Lagi sedihnya, masa saya ni lagu kepakaran nak kena ambil terus saya pun juga kepada kepakaran untuk mendengar masalah. MCO kita pun, saya cakap susah, saya bekerja, saya pun stres juga. Suami saya dengan suami saya PJJ. Suami saya pegawai tentera. MCO setahun lebih tak jumpa. Okay. So, memang saya kata kalau saya tak strong, saya punya mental and also emotional saya. Macam mana saya nak tunjuk contoh dekat saya punya lecturer bawah saya. Saya punya student, saya kena jaga masa tu faculty business, diploma in business studies and also banking, masuk Roy kan masa tu. Student dua-dua fokus pada 1,000 lebih. Saya punya pesyarat saya yang saya jaga dijaga dan juga dirawat selama almost 50. MCO masing-masing ada masalah. Saya pun lemah. Saya pun bukanlah good leader lah, saya nak tunjuk contoh kat mereka kan. So saya kena tengok masalah students juga. So you bayangkan, kita tak kena satu, kita tak kena tolong bagi solution, kita punya kita pun kena sihat juga. Jadi kita pun masa tu kena kuat. Maknya cerita dan nangis kan, kita pun ikut sama nangis tadi. Kan? Jadi sudah saya pun rasa memang dia sangat berkirapan. Sebab kalau you tak jaga dua-dua ni, macam you nak tunjuk personality juga ada orang kan? Sebab bila kita ada masa image appearance tadi tu, kita cantik semua. Tapi kalau you mental you tak jaga, you jadi suka marah-marah orang. You jadi suka kutuk-kutuk orang dekat media sosial. Orang tak gelakkan, you ada mental problem ke? Apa dia suka cakap gaduh dengan orang? Kan? So bagi saya benda tu dia tak bagus. Itu dia sangat berkirapan. Okay?
Thank you very much, Saya setuju. Jadi dari kata basic self-care perlu dijaga untuk effect kita punya image personality. Sebab jadi kita tak jaga, dari situ kita boleh tahu yang diri kita tak ada motivation. Sebab kita sendiri pun tak jaga diri kita self-care, basic skincare, mandi. Okay? So it could affect someone's personality.
Yes, sir.
So let's jump into next question. As we know, student here, most of you is a student that will enter real world industry, especially the job sector. So what is your opinion and preparation that they could prepare start from now before they can enter the industry?
Okay, so pertama sekali memang you want to make a good first impression. Sebab good first impression tu cuma boleh dibina dalam 7 ke 30 saat sahaja. Because your potential employer tak tahu you siapa. So ikut kajian dan memang pun kita bila kesan jumpa orang, 55% tu kita akan tunjuk melalui kita punya appearance. So selalunya memang ramai student-student saya yang mereka tak pergi ke interview for job interview ni, dia akan pilih dekat IG ke, dekat Facebook ke, kadang-kadang dekat WhatsApp ke. Dia kata dulu pernah attend media punya talk, and then macam nak mengukur balik betul ke apa yang saya pilih ni sesuai untuk pakai ketika interview. First you have to know you pergi untuk interview tu, you masuk dalam industri yang mana satu. Kalau government sector, you kena tahu dia memang sangat menitik beratkan penampilan profesional tu. So dia punya pakaian tu, dia nak tengok kalau lelaki especially, lelaki sebenarnya, saya cakap terus terang, lelaki yang paling banyak kena groom. Lelaki selalu kata, perempuan nak kena tahu makeup ke apa. No, when you learn about image, we are talking about image, it's not about makeup aja tau. Dia betul saya katakan ni, kalau belajar dulu, ada lebih daripada 20 modul hanya bercerita tentang image ni sahaja. Masuk dalam etiket sama. Okay? Saya pun perhatikan anak-anak murid lelaki yang datang ke kelas saya. First kali saya pandang ada dia punya jenis kemeja yang pakai. Okay. Kalau katakan untuk corporate sector dan juga government sector, especially government sector lah, dia sangat tekankan dari segi pemilihan warna tu. Kalau macam industri yang kreatif, kalau macam mungkin dia lain sikit dari segi dia punya kelonggaran, sebab dia nak perlukan pergerakan dan sebagainya. Okay, tapi kalau untuk nak jadi pegawai, bawah GPA punya interview semua ni, lagi pemilihan kemeja tu sangat penting. And then you pakai dia punya blazer tu pun penting, tie yang dipilih tu juga penting. Tie tu pula dia punya panjang tu cecah dia punya belt ke tidak. Lelaki yang ada di sini okey, yang lain-lain tu lari, tidak orang ni je. Okey, yang lelaki je lah yang saya nampak di depan mata saya 5 orang. Siapa yang reti ikat tali leher sini? Reti ikat. Yang di belakang, reti tak ikat? Reti. Okey, selalu ikat tali leher tu, kamu asal dia ikat aja ke ataupun kamu mesti pastikan sampai dekat buckle? Mesti sampai dekat buckle. Okey, very good. Sebab ada bila kita buat training kan, dia dah ada staff dah pun, dia punya tali leher tu tergantung. So ikutkan dia punya rule, dia mesti touch dia punya tip dekat buckle tu ataupun dekat tengah-tengah kita punya belt. Ya, jadi dia kata kenapa tergantung je ni, possibly yang dah siap ikat. Tu jangan. Okay. And then sebenarnya size tali leher tu pun ada juga dia punya maksud-maksud tu. Jangan ikut yang opa sangat tu. Saya jadi opa kan dia halu je kan. Dia ada kaitan dengan body shape juga. Aku dah jadi body shape kan. So sama bukannya perempuan je yang sangat pentingkan pasal body shape tu, tapi sama. And then lagi bila you pergi kemeja contohnya kan, you perasan tak dekat kemeja tu ada trik ataupun tak ada trik? You boleh tak balik kemeja, tak ada pula yang pakai kemeja tu. Dekat belakang tu nampak dia baju organizer ni kan. Basic boleh tak jadi model sekejap? Organizer tu, tak nampak.
Organizer tu, dia sudah.
Sebab pemilihan kemeja tu pun mesti saya sekejap. Pusing sekejap, pusing. Okay. Alright, so kemeja kat ini nampak ada saya tepik. Boleh dapat. Boleh nampak sini. Alright. Kita nampak ada center plate kat sini kan? Apa tujuan center plate tu? Lelaki. Tak tahu kan? Apa lagi tahu namanya beli meja buat center plate ke? Kadang-kadang tak ada. Kita duduk sana depan. Ada tak perasaan kadang-kadang tak ada plate langsung? Ada kan? Okay, dan pusing. Okey, so sebenarnya tujuan untuk ada yang plate, center plate tu untuk siapa yang ada di kosong. Dia nak bagi ruang. Lepas tu kalau orang tu dia sangat slim dan slender, tak perlukan that center plate pun tu yang bila dia pakai baju tu nampak robos. Jadi nampak macam kenapa kebun je. Kan macam orang mandi dalam sungai, dia kebun je kan. Jadi okay, thank you. Terima kasih Ibu Model. Jadi itu antara yang buat kenapa saya dah bersih dah. Biasa saya dah kemas, tapi dia tak cukup kemas. Dia tak kena body shape kamu tu sebenarnya. So itulah dia kata yang itu nampak macam tapi tak dia salah nampak tu adalah visual. Okay, alright. Jadi itu baru yang bahagian itu meja. Yang paling pentingnya kita kepada stocking dan kasut. Kalau perempuan, kalau lelaki punya rule kalau untuk stocking dengan kasut. Kalau saya nak tengok ramai juga hari ini kan kita pakai baju formal. Tapi dia tak menunjukkan pemakaian formal kerana stocking tu warna putih. Pakai dengan kasut kulit. Patutnya warna apa stocking? Hitam, very good, neutral colour. Warna hitam, warna yang gelap-gelap. Warna putih hanya untuk pakai dalam kesusahan. Dia banyak ikut pengaruh kuliah ni. Semua hidup opah kan. Right? Dari segi apa lagi untuk wanita, jangan pakai baju yang warna lebih dari 3 warna bersama. Okay. So kalau macam contoh macam saya pakai blazer dengan skirt hitam kan. So kalau untuk sensitif boleh lah pakai gini. So ini dua warna hitam kalau kita ni warna neutral color. So more than 60% kita lebihkan neutral colors. Selain daripada 5 neutral colors ni, kita pada fashion color, kita pakai dekat kita punya tudung ataupun blouse dalam ke. Itu nak menunjukkan keseriusan dan formalnya kita untuk bidang yang kita nak apply tu. Tapi kalau kreatif punya company ke industri punya kreatif tu, diorang tak perlukan that terlalu formal macam ni. Dia pun macam pelik ni, nak kerja pejabat mana? Kan? Lepas tu you punya tadi, you nak kerja tu kat bidang apa? Right? So, kasut tu untuk wanita, contoh macam kasut yang saya pakai. Okay, jadi kita kata tentang kasut formal. Masih lagi yang sering kali tersilap punya kasut. Jadi kalau kamu nak convocation pun sama juga dari syarat kasut formal tu. Kasut formal tu ialah bertutup depan dan belakang, berwarna gelap. Hitam is the best. Kalau ni kita kaitkan hitam tu dengan warna formal. Okay, tak pun warna yang dark brown, dark grey, dark blue. Itu adalah warna-warna neutral yang kita gunakan. And yang paling penting, you punya tumit tu mesti terpisah daripada badan kasut tu. Itu yang dikatakan sebagai kasut formal lah. Sama yang pakai apa? Kasut yang sandal kan, yang loafer tu. Yang dia kadang dia ramai sini cakap macam dia contoh dia tu kan. Oh dia tidak. Dia tidak tengok. Dia tak tahu betul salah kan hari ni bukan hari formal kan. Dia tak kasut. Saya tak yang dia cakap tu. Okey, itu contoh sandal. Yang kamu punya kasut, kamu tak? Macam sorok kaki dia. Itu macam crocs kan? Tak apa, jangan risau. Saya dulu, masa saya belum jadi consultant, saya jadi pensyarah, saya sangat overdress. Kalau saya tengok, kerja cantik macam ni. Tapi mana dia buat Allah sesuai. Dia kurang sesuai, dia kurang nampak professional. Dari segi kasut dah banyak yang tidak tahu. Masa tengah lelaki pakai kasut crocs, so tinggi-tingginya kasut crocs tu. Tapi lepas tu, tak ada lagi dah lah. Jadi saya nak pakai pemahaman yang di situ lah. Preparation itu selain daripada ni saya penting nak tekankan itu terdapat dari segi penampilan, dari segi penuturan, ada communication skill. Bila saya pernah tanya soalan kepada kandidat masa tu, boleh tak ceritakan dulu you punya job kat tempat kerja lama buat apa? Dia pun kata dengan muka dia tak senyum, mata dia pun macam dia tak tahu depan mana, tapi muka dia macam tak berminat lah. Macam orang kata apa dalam komputer pak-pak kan yang hadiri interview tu kan. Tapi dia berkata begini, lakonan semula so dia kata, adalah saya buat macam tu. Kata proper tak? Tak proper kan? So saya rasa macam, why you here? Tapi dalam hati lah tak nak cakap macam tu kat depan ni kan. Masih dah tinggal ke lah. Tapi please, kalau you rasa you tak sesuai, tak nak jawatan tu, you tak payah datang, tak payah membuang masa orang lain. Okay, you sendiri tahu sebenarnya you berminat ataupun tidak. Right? Dan you expect juga lepas tu kenapa saya ni bagus, saya punya qualification semua ni, saya tak tahu kerja cukup bagus, tapi kita tak ambil saya. Itulah kadang-kadang orang tak rasa attitude. Right? So I share one one experience di masa saya hadiri temuga untuk dapatkan beasiswa tenaga pengajar muda pensyarah UiTM. Lepas tu saya memang baru grad degree. Saya hantar permohonan on paper lebih daripada 30 kandidat yang dipanggil untuk final stage face-to-face interview cuma 2 orang. Saya dengan lagi seorang untuk bidang saya. Jadi dah dapat Alhamdulillah rezeki kerja benda tu adalah berkat daripada doa ibu bapa. So bila saya dapat apply dan balik sini, saya jumpa dengan dekan pada masa tu, tanya boleh tak saya nak tahu apa yang buatkan saya terpilih, padahal ramai lagi pendidik lain yang saya tahu dia lagi bagus daripada saya. Sebab mereka tu ada pengalaman bekerja tu semua, saya ni masih lagi student baru grad gitu kan. Dia kata the moment you enter into the book, unlike your personality, automatically unlike your personality. Masa tu saya bila baru kerja kita pun tak faham lagi apa mesti aku yang situ ni kan. Tapi as time goes by, saya pernah belajar benda ni, saya bekerja dalam bidang sama-sama belajar tu kan. Dan saya start to realize, you masuk-masuk, you senyum dengan yang interviewer tu. You nampak, you ada rasa you happy kat situ. Okay, walaupun dah lagi nervous, cakap tu masa tu terletak, tu normal. Tu normal betul lagi kan. Kan? Tapi dia provoke, masa tanya kita dia provoke. Kadang-kadang anak muda ni bila kena provoke, dia mesti tak mengerti. Right? So bila kita provoke, maintain cool je. Nanti lagi senyum, jawab je. Walaupun tak tahu betul tak jawapan dia, tak kisah. Yang penting you confident. Itu confident kita the key lah. Kadang-kadang saya tak dengar apa. Betul, saya salah. Saya sampai nak kena jajak saya nak buka buku boleh je tentu ke jawapan kau bagi. Tak ada sampai macam macam tu kalau kena interview. Yang penting you confident, you pun you boleh jawab. Bila jawapan yang baik, attitude dia bagus, dia tak melawan, nak macam cari gaduh kat situ. Kalau awak yang dah tunjuk kat potential employee, macam nak cari gaduh, macam ni tak jadi buat kat situ kan. Memanglah kita tak dapat lah. Okay? Right. So saya rasa mungkin boleh bantu juga lah banyak.
Terima kasih Madam Azizah. Saya rasa preparation sebelum student untuk masuk ke alam pekerjaan itu penting dari segi preparation dari pemilihan dress code kita untuk interview, especially yang satu dari segi confidence, self-confidence especially untuk kita attract kita punya HR atau recruiter. So saya minta maaf sebabnya kami terpaksa get sedikit masa dan kami terpaksa tutup soalan daripada audiens. Dan saya pun pasti sebenarnya tak cukup masa untuk Madam Azizah. Sebenarnya banyak lagi kalau boleh dia nak cerita. Sebab saya kenal personally, saya kenal Madam Azizah, Dewan saya bercakap banyak benefit, banyak knowledge dan ilmu yang dia boleh sampaikan kepada kita hari ini. Tapi sebab kerana masa, kita terpaksa. Okay, in the future, the next organizer, saya rekomenkan untuk invite lagi Madam Azizah sebagai guest speaker kita, especially in terms of personality and well-being.
Saya nak ucapkan terima kasih dekat itu sebab sebenarnya sejak daripada MCO, every semester saya dijemput oleh pelajar-pelajar dari UiTM Dewan sebenarnya. Masa MCO tu, trainer-trainer yang biasa buat secara fizikal, saya antara trainer yang awal kata, saya tak boleh buat diam. Saya tak boleh buat, sebabnya you dah dekat kat rumah, tak boleh keluar. Saya pergi kelas, saya belajar online, saya conduct online training dan saya antara yang training yang aktif buat online training ketika MCO. Dan masa tu semua student-student semua kena buat seminar macam ni. And then kita faham mereka pun masa tu tak cukup budget dah tapi saya just buat juga. And then sejak pada itu different batch yang invite daripada UiTM Dewan. Ini dah saya alhamdulillah saya tak bantu lagi untuk semester ni sebenarnya. Dan saya memang nak ucapkan terima kasih banyak kepada UiTM Dewan. Kalau ada lagi peluang insyaAllah boleh kumpul untuk kualitas nanti. InsyaAllah saya akan cuba untuk time for that.
I think our second slide ends here. Thank you again, Madam Azizah, for spending your time together with us. So we will continue our last and third slide after this. So perhaps you can stay here to watch the live session together. Thank you, Madam.
So it shows that having a good personality is very important to us. Ladies and gentlemen, our first will continue to online with a speaker from the University of Auckland, Dr. Angus Sandra. The session will be short. I would like to kindly invite Dr. Hanan and also Madam Aziza to stay with us for the next online session with Dr. Angus. Before we start, I would like to inform that our next speaker is Dr. Angus Campbell. Dr. Angus is a leading of design program, Faculty of Creative Arts and Industries from Waipapan Tawantarau, University of Auckland, New Zealand. His university lecturing, practice-based research, and freelance design experience is passionately focused on exploring the power of design to creatively, collaboratively, and also sustainably innovate at the complex nexus of social, technological, and ecological systems. The next slide will begin shortly. Also, the audience are pleased to wait patiently before our last slide begins. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen.
Hello. Hello, Dr.
Hi.
Angus. Can you hear me?
I can. Hello.
Please welcome.
All right. Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. Welcome back to our forum, Hub Equality and Innovation, paving the way for a brighter future. And now, we will continue our forum with the third and last slot with the greatest speaker from University of Auckland, New Zealand, Dr. Angus Campbell. Before we start, let me introduce you with our guest speaker today. Dr. Angus Campbell is a director of a design and deputy head of School of Fine Arts and Design in the Faculty of Creative Arts and Industry at the University of Auckland. For your information, he is also a Doctor of Literature and Philosophy in a Development Study from University of Johannesburg and a Master of Technology in Industrial Design for the Tennyson Witwatersrand, South Africa. Hello, Dr. Angus. How are you?
Hi. Assalamualaikum. Nice to meet you. And nice to be able to speak to this forum. I'm very honored to be here.
Yes, me too. Glad to hear that, Dr. Angus. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for your information, our third and last will be start with the talk will be given by Dr. Angus with the topic of From Imagination to Innovation, exploring the boundless possibility of a creative arts industry. Dr. Angus, this slot is yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the introduction, and thank you very much for the invitation to be able to speak at this forum. As I said, I'm very honored to be here and to speak on a topic of health, equality, and innovation. And I'm hopefully going to be able to get my slides to work. So let's see if we can get that right. There we go. Today I'm sitting, almost 10 hours away. I think if you were traveling by airplane, but only a few hours by time zone. And I'm really glad to be able to share some of my work as a designer in both South Africa and in New Zealand. So I've got quite a lot of slides, but I was also just informed that I have a slightly shorter time to speak on. So I'm going to work through some of the slides a bit more quickly And again, hopefully the slides can be shared if anybody is really interested in sort of exploring them a little bit further. So this is what I'm going to be covering today, specifically on the topic that I've got, which is really around innovation. As is tradition in New Zealand, we introduce ourselves with a pepeha, and a pepeha is really an introduction in terms of where we come from. So I'm going to do that in Te Reo Māori. Ko Magaliesburg to Moanga, ko Orchard Spruit te Awa, no Johannesburg ahau, ko Campbell toko whanua, ko Angus toko inua. And the English translation is there, and that speaks to where I originate from. My father was Scottish, and my mother was second generation English. And this map shows me traveling from South Africa, literally to the other side of the world, to New Zealand. And I think the map and this orientation of the map doesn't show where you're located at this point, but these are the two contexts that I can speak from. This is Johannesburg, and this is an amazing photographer who uses drone photography to capture inequality around the world, and this really shows there's a staggering difference of the way that people live in Southern Africa. So on the right-hand side of your screen, you can see what is termed an informal settlement. On the left-hand side, a relatively comfortable suburb. And ultimately, these geographic separations that you see through this aerial shot were brought about through apartheid in South Africa. So I'm sitting here at the moment in New Zealand, but I'm very interested in seeing how things play out in the International Court of Justice in The Hague at the moment, as a South African myself. So we're talking today very much about inequality, and we're talking about health, and we're talking about innovation, and I'm a designer. Being brought up in a context like this ultimately really made me aware of significant inequalities in the context that surrounded me. And as a creative person, what I wanted to do was to change the world in a way that would be better, in a way that that wouldn't look the way that I was seeing it. And I think that many of us want to do that from varying disciplines. And so today, I suppose my topic is around innovation, but as a designer, I'm going to be really talking about that from an innovative point of view. So SDG 9 is about industry, innovation, and infrastructure, and these are some of the the focus areas around SDG 9. But this is my area of interest, and it's around sort of how technology plays a role within the economy, and how we can use technology as a way to increase creativity and use human creativity to develop technology, and how technology can increase human capabilities. And I think that this is from the UN Development Report. I think it was 2001. And it becomes a really interesting model that ultimately led to the SDGs as we know them today. So I'm going to skip through these. I mean, some of the stuff is a little bit academic and maybe highfalutin, but it really talks to the idea that technology is a complex thing. It's more physical things, but it's also ways of agreeing how things work, and ultimately it becomes a system that surrounds us. And what it does is it enables us to extend our capabilities into the world and to change the world in the way that we want it to be changed. And I'm really interested in this conception of appropriate technology. And I'm going to show you some examples of designs that I consider to be really innovative with regards to technology in the world. I think what's really interesting is the way that innovation is defined is this conception of something being invented, but also being exploited. So the idea of something being created, but something then being able to be economically valuable in some way or other. I have some issues with this original conception, which is by Roberts in 2007. This is from MIT. And I believe that actually Gupta's definition and I suppose challenge below is around, innovation should be something that is much more inclusive. And we should be able to look at how people are creative on the margins of society and use those creations as a way of shifting society as a whole. I also think that we are facing a significant economic crisis, and so really looking at how we innovate needs to be within a sustainability lens. I also believe very strongly that this whole drive for globalization is really problematic, and we really need to be looking much more closer to home, to the local, to how we can develop business, food, employment, industry, infrastructure as locally as possible. So as a designer, this is a really simple definition of what design is, and it's really about changing the existing situation into something that is much more preferred. And I'm going to skip through these. This is the University of Johannesburg, where I used to work, and this was a very creative project across the whole faculty. And this is our amazing Fab Lab space at the University of Auckland, where our students get to make and envision and to actually physically bring into reality their ideas and some of our studio spaces. And I'm a strong believer that actually there is a significant amount of creative energy and opportunity in students at universities. And that, for me, really working with industry and with students is something that ultimately can bring about really significant positive change. And so I'm going to show you some of the projects that some of my students have done. And again, I'm going to go through them so that I can show. I'm very visual. I'm a designer, so I like to show the pictures. This is in Soweto, not in Soweto, this is in Alexandra, just on the outskirts of Sandton, which is one of the most expensive suburbs in Johannesburg. And, despite the fact that individuals are living in informal settings, you can actually start to see this level of creativity that I, as a designer, found really interesting. And it's not about celebrating poverty, but it's about looking at how people work within their means and use what is available. And again, this becomes really sustainable to make their lives better. And these are some other examples of sort of really clever use of ultimately what is scrap or waste resources. This is a chimney to extract smoke from inside the home, and this is using an old bottle cap as a way of making sure that a covering to waterproof a home doesn't get pulled off. So again, these are not things that are going to be able to be commercialized, but there are innovative ideas that can actually be transferred and potentially be something that actually becomes commercializable if there was something that was really beneficial at scale. This is a great example of a community of urban farmers that I worked with in Johannesburg that worked on land that was just outside of a farm. And they had developed a system of growing seedlings that brought the seedlings to market earlier than any other product, that irrigated the seedlings very cleverly, that used very little water, that actually enabled them to set up a business and an enterprise within an area that had very little food. All of the food was brought in. So this is the kind of innovation that I find really inspiring. And as a designer, I worked with students to collaborate with communities to then scale up such innovations. This is the opposite, where urban farmers are not doing very well. And a lot of my work was around this idea of social innovation, being able to bring people together, collaborate together, bring those within a community with those that are in the same community, but those that know versus those that don't. And then bring the students in as well to really work together to innovate products. And these are just some examples. This was taking that seedling growing system, working with a community of farmers and actually developing something that could be commercialized. This is I know that's a lot of the focus today is around sort of gender and gender equality. And this was a female design student that was working with the farmers to develop this as a product. And ultimately what we do is use a range of different models and methods to help to look at the complex realities of the world. And I think that's really important. And that's something that higher education can enable. And so it's really about providing tools to be able to look at the complex world as it is. This is another student who ended up developing an amazing beehive that navigated some of the challenges that were faced by beekeepers in Southern Africa. And honey is an incredible resource because what it does is add significant value to a farmer in terms of being able to sell honey versus crops. And also having bees on your farm makes your farm actually significantly more productive. So he developed this prototype hive, which ultimately made use of lightweight composite concrete. So it was a material innovation. And that innovation itself increased the productivity of the hive by 40%. So if you think about that for any farmer, that's 40% increase in production on the honey, which is, as I said, a very high value crop. So one hive full of honey would earn as much in an entire year for an average household in South Africa. So that gives you some sort of idea of the value of it. And he went on to do this through an honors project, a master's project, working with community, developing the product itself until it became something that was ultimately commercialized and is now sold on his website. It's called Begin. And at the moment, he has 180 mold sets that are sold around the world in 17 different countries and about 8,300 hives that are all in operation. And it's a very interesting economic model because the model was in developing a set of molds, and the molds are what are sold. So the molds enable another person to become an entrepreneur and actually to make the beehives themselves. And what that also has done is it's led to very interesting material innovations, because in different contexts and in different places around the world, there are different materials available to actually make the hives. So concrete is obviously readily available, but it's relatively problematic in terms of its environmental sustainability. But other farmers have experimented using clays and other materials that might be available locally. So in a sense, this designer, who is now an entrepreneur, has developed a product that in itself has its own sort of innovative life that can live on through other people's innovations around the world. This is another student project, and this is a female student. She was an honors student who went on again to do a master's, and she was really interested in developing eyewear. And again, use these models to explore through a human-centered, so through really looking at people's experiences. How can you improve eyewear in the South African context? And so again, the focus of the forum today is around health, and obviously being able to see is really important. This was an interesting sort of insight from one of the participants, and she was a Black South African girl, and she said, my face isn't designed for glasses. And the reason for that is that many glasses are designed based on European facial features. They are not designed for the diversity of facial features around the world. There are actually only 2 standard fits for glasses. There's the Asian fit, which was actually developed in Japan as a response to what is the European fit. And so we've got an issue with a product that a lot of people need. You need to be able to see what you're doing, and it's standardized according to a certain way of looking. And so she went about a process of exploring, firstly, how one measures the face. And so she worked with optometrists. And it was really interesting that actually a lot of the measuring devices, as you can see here, were developed for Caucasian people. They were developed for white men and white women. They weren't actually developed for a more diverse set of facial features. And she had to actually develop a new measuring device, and then ended up using readily available technologies like laser cutting to come up with a really low-cost set of glasses that ultimately an individual could customize to become something that really suited them. And this is just an example of one of the designs. And this is a final project. I'm not sure how we're doing for time that I would like to present, because again, I think this speaks to innovation, but it also speaks to gender equality. And this was a product that was looking at menstrual health. This was a female designer and working in the South African context, where menstruation, and actually menstruation a lot around the world, is something that is taboo. It's something that's not easily talked about. And she went through a process of interviewing a lot of women and talking about the taboos that exist around menstruation, and how could one design a product that ultimately is much more sustainable and really meets the needs of women, designed by women. So I supervised her for the project, but this entire project was led by her. And ultimately, she ended up with this reusable sanitary pad that was patented by the University of Johannesburg, and with the potential for being able to be commercialized. So, and this was a technology innovation conference where she was able to share that and get feedback from participants as well. So I think what's really important in what I've presented thus far is just showing the amazing potential that exists when students and diverse students bring their own experiences, their own frustrations into the educational space, and then take that and put it out into the world. And I find it incredibly satisfying when I see a student come up with an idea and then bring it into reality, and be able to potentially turn that not only into something that gives them a qualification, but also potentially becomes a livelihood through a business or an enterprise. These are just some of the other sort of aspects that fitted into Nula, which was the product that was developed. In New Zealand, despite it also being considered a first world context, it also has different realities. It's a city with two tails, and you've got sort of marginalized communities within the New Zealand context. And I'm just going to present this as my final slide. And this is a project that was undertaken by one of my doctoral candidates that was recently awarded, and she's now actually a member of staff within the design program. And this was a project where she used technology. So this is now sort of much higher technology, and she used augmented and virtual reality as a way of bringing together what is ultimately the bicultural reality of New Zealand, so that people could actually have conversations using technology, or be able to participate in the presentation of somebody else's reality, which becomes really exciting. See how technology, sort of high technologies, can be used to bring people together, particularly when they come from different cultures. And I think I'm going to leave it at that and stop presenting, and hopefully be able to answer some questions from the audience. I have a lot that I can speak about, but I also really appreciate that we're running out of time. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dr. Angus. So you showed the previous of your project and your student. That was very impressive for me, because I know that one of the goals is to want to achieve improving from the perspective of the society and the community, right, Dr. Angus? So without further ado, I'll continue with the Q&A session, but I'm sorry to inform you that I will take a few questions because we have limit of time. Shall we, Dr. Angus? Yeah. So the first question that I will ask is about how we can ensure that our efforts to promote gender equality in the creative arts and industry that very sustainable and long-lasting.
I mean, I think ultimately, I've worked on a really interesting project called Unequal Stories, which was a project between South Africa and the UK, and it looked at the reality that in sort of creative industries or creative higher education, 60% of students are female. But the reality is that when students graduate and they go into the industries themselves, that ratio radically changes and it drops off. And I think that firstly, we need to, within higher education, we need to have policies that encourage transformation from in terms of the staff themselves, also in terms of the students. But likewise, we need bodies and governments to have policies to bring about appropriate shifts in industry. And ultimately, I think that these things take a bit of time. but the effort is really important to arrive at sort of more equitable outcomes. I think that at university level, having forums like this is wonderful. The two speakers that were able to kind of present earlier before me on their own experiences and be able to discuss with the students and get students to be aware of the kind of complexities that exist around gender is really important. And I think it's ultimately not just about gender, it's also very much about sort of diversity in total. And that, I'm a strong believer in this idea of pluriversality, that we need to be able to celebrate the diversity of this world as much as possible. And that's ultimately where the beauty exists.
Yeah, Angus, I would agree with you when one of the ways to promote the gender equality in the creative arts and industry is from the university level itself, by inviting people who have expertise in the creative art industry. So yeah, I think that is the best way. Like the next question is about how can creative arts and how can creative art to contribute breaking down the barriers and changing biases related to the gender and more inclusive and accepting by the society.
I think that the examples that I showed you today were quite sort of practical. So I think the idea of creatives being innovative and putting products into the world that ultimately cater for a diverse audience is one aspect that's really important. I think that sort of on the other side of the arts, where you're talking about sort of fine arts and potentially sort of more sort of provocative creative outputs, I think that there's also an opportunity to really challenge society through artworks, through interventions, through protest, through the wonderful I suppose creative spirit that we have within us. So I think at both ends it can be this sort of very sort of pragmatic approach, but also this sort of also a highly creative approach. And sometimes again, I think what I was presenting in terms of the students project, it's really around allowing the opportunity for individuals to be able to take their passions and put them out into the world. And that for me is what universities should do as a platform. And I mean, the reality is that the world is complex and there are lots of things against us. But at the same time, I think if we're coming from it from a point of passion and we think, because actually my discussion is around infrastructure, and I think ultimately that sort of higher educational infrastructure is about enabling. So having the idea of technology transfer offices at a university, when a real innovation is developed by a student, enabling that student to be able to kind of transition from sort of an educational space into a business space. And other ways of looking at that could be through incubation centers, for example, for innovation. The University of Auckland has a really interesting competition that it runs every year. It's called the 100K Challenge, and it's 100,000 New Zealand dollars. And any student or any staff member can apply for it based on a good idea that they have. And it's judged by external industry experts, and I sit on one of the panels. And the top 10 entries all get some form of seed funding, and the winning entry gets $100,000 to bring their idea into reality. Those are the sorts of interventions and ways of actually shifting current realities that can lead to more diversity.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Angus, for your clear explanation regarding my question just now. So I think that is the last question for me for this forum, and I'm sadly to say that our forum today has come to the end. So I would like to express my gratitude to all the greatest speakers, Dr. Angus Campbell, Dr. Muhammad Hanan, Madam Azniza, for spending your time to share with us your knowledge inspiring sharing. Thank you again to Dr. Angus for your time today. We are looking forward to collaborating and having the opportunity to have you as our guest speaker in the future. So we are truly sorry that we are unable to provide physical memento, but can only express our gratitude for make our forum become more alive with your presence. It was a really great time to have you as our guest speaker. I am assured that you have also enjoyed a lot in this forum. We are truly sorry for the imperfection happened throughout this forum. Thank you again for being a great speaker for our forum.
Thank you. Thank you very much for moderating and for hosting me. I really do appreciate it.
Yes. Before we can end this live, we will have some photo session with you, Dr. Angus. Are you ready? Yeah. 1, 2, 3. All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Angus. Hope we can
Thank
see
you.
you again. All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you. I'd love to meet you in
Assalamualaikum.
person. Salam alaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. To all audience in this live, you need to scan the QR code of attendance after this live session ends. Friendly reminder, the QR code will only show for 50 minutes, and we would like to thank all the audience for showing your fearless support for joining this forum. Thank you, everyone. Assalamualaikum.